Hey everyone, I wanted to record this video and do a little bit of recap of the challenge that I've done, where I failed and how it's perfect. So I failed on day 13. I realized on day 14th, while I was on the train, and it dawned on me thinking, have I actually finished reading 10 pages? Because in the morning when I started reading, I got carried away with journaling and I counted the pages and I was like, oh, I'll just get back to it after a journal. And because I put the book to the sides after journaling, I started, going about my day, and it just literally didn't cross my mind until the day after. So that was another reminder of how important it is to focus on a task at hand and get that done and get that complete before moving on to the next thing. And I have this tendency of being quite scattered. I have this idea, that idea. I journal, I need to record something, I need to voice note something. And I'm trying to catch myself and bring it back to the present moment and to what I'm doing, but still, I'm a fallible human being. So, failed the challenge, decided not to carry on for now, and reflecting on the fact on how perfect that is that I actually failed. Generally, this year has been a lot of echoes of what it is to fail. How can I fail into greatness? As Eric Godsey says, failing into greatness. I really love this. And I can hear my tummy rumbling. So it's been beautiful to fail, and I keep failing, and it's so perfect and it's so great because each time I fail, I see how I can improve and change and move on with a greater confidence. So the reason it was perfect to fail, and the reason I'm not restarting right away, which part of me wanted to do, but I was like, let me slow down, let me reflect on why is it perfect that I failed? Like, why now? And I've just completed a program that my friend has created, and it was a 3-month intensive program. And while I was doing that, I was completing my previous 75 hard challenge, and then I had a gap, and then I started again. So it was all my experience was muddied with the challenge. So there were like two experiences like going on at the same time. And so when we had a reflection call and he was asking me some questions, I was like, it's so difficult to answer because I got a lot from the challenge and I got a lot from the community and the program. So I realized how I have this tendency of taking a lot of things on and stacking them and doing them all together, and then I get lost of like, I got so much, but like, where is this coming from, And I love how whenever I go to a 10-day Vipassana silent meditation retreat, their strong recommendation is that you give up any other practices, any other things, like you don't even speak, you're not allowed to exercise. So you're literally doing nothing but practicing that specific meditation practice. And the idea is that you receive the purity of the practice without, any other interferences. So then you can discern for yourself whether, it worked for you, whether you want to carry on. And I think there's a lot of power in doing just one thing at a time and doing it fully and immersing oneself fully into it. And yeah, I'm just stacking things on top of one another, and then I get lost. And the reason it was perfect to fail is because I have a retreat coming up in less than a week. And it's going to be a very profound, deep, spiritual, sexual, shamanic, initiatory container. And I have no idea what's going to happen there. But I know last year when I went to assist one of their other programs, I was doing 75 hard, and I managed it. I was actually blown away by how much I could manage. But assisting was different because it was not necessarily about only my own experience. It was about holding space for others. So it didn't really cloud my experience necessarily, but this specific experience is my experience. And I was thinking, oh, it's fine, I'll do the 75 hard challenge and it'll be fine. I can manage that. And now I'm thinking, wow, it's actually perfect that I failed, because going into this experience now, I'm really seeing how I don't want any interference in getting that transmission and receiving and being, I don't have any thoughts of like, oh, I still need to do this, and still like being pulled out of the experience. So I'm like, wow, that's why I failed, that I needed to fail. In order to slow down and to reflect and go into this next experience fully and surrendering and not having anything else clouding my judgment. So that's how it's perfect. And I will restart the 75 hard challenge once I'm back. And one of my friends and coaches, he messaged me asking, how is the Live Hard program going for you? What is the sound? I think there's some weird sounds. He asked me, how does the Live Hard program going on for you? Oh, I think I know. Something's on my computer is on and it's speaking. I just need... There we go. And I realized that I was referring to this as 75 hard challenge, whereas actually I said I want to do the whole program, and it's called Live Hard program, and it carries on for the whole year. So it starts with the 75, and there's different phases that constitute the whole year. And I'm like, I was still kind of referring to it as just this challenge that I'm doing, not the whole year program. I'm like, okay, that's an interesting noticing how I was relating to it. So I want to take on that reframe and do the Live Hard program for the whole year. And yeah, it's interesting. So now I'm out of the challenge and I have some coffee, which was one of the things that I wasn't having during the challenge. And fuck, addictions come back fast. It's been 3 days now since I'm having a coffee, and I'm noticing I'm crashing. I mean, it gives me high, but then I have this like grogginess, this like inconsistent energy, and still I'm doing it, still I'm having it, and it's just such a strong grip. But one of the beautiful things, I think, having that pause, having that space, is to see how those different things are coming back into life. So on the first day I had coffee and I had tiny bit of chocolate, and it was just because I am one of the human beings that likes to experience the contrast. I've just been for 2 weeks on the extreme of like very clean eating, and now like I'm out of the challenge, so I'm like, let me start like adding those things and see the contrast, feel the contrast. And then what else? I had a pastry that's gluten. I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest. But it's I guess it's like an elimination diet in a way, where you eliminate all the usual stuff and then gradually begin to bring in and see like how the body is responding. So that's an interesting part, to reintroduce things back and see the relationship. The workouts, they're still going, like it's kind of like became very natural to me now. Reading, I'm noticing how reading is slipping away. Water became a little bit less, but still like I'm drinking a lot. Yeah, so it's still kind of, the challenge is still working through me, but there's elements that kind of go in and out. So it's interesting to reflect and see that too. But yeah, this is kind of the overview of where I am with it. I will restart, and yeah, I'm super excited to see a yearly progress, and hopefully I won't fail again over such a tiny little thing as well. And at the same time, it's like, even if I fail, you know, I can start again. And that's another theme of my year, is like, just start again, start again, start again, start again. And that's just that. In the moment, I was like, fuck. But then there's a comfort in knowing that I can always start again. Like, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, I'll start again, and once I'll start again, I'll start even stronger and more committed and more dedicated and more focused. And that was the beauty of failing, you know, to really see like who am I being in my lack of focus and forgetfulness and not paying the attention to detail. And that's one of the tasks in the 75 Hard Challenge, is taking a progress picture. And it seems like it's the easiest thing, but a lot of people fail because of that, because it's such a small thing people disregard, and that is what fails them. And you know, you would think, oh, but it's a small thing. But the thing is, like, the life is made of small things. Those small things we do every single day, you know, and you don't notice one small thing like falls away. We don't attend to it, and like all of a sudden the small thing becomes a big thing. So really, it's about paying attention to the detail and to the small things, and not disregarding them. So that's it, and I will see you back soon.